Okay, this particular one would touch upon a comment that is using certain words. If you are familiar with my channel, you know that I do not censor stuff. I do appreciate nuanced discussion, and I hope people can have nuanced discussion, even on sensitive topic or taboo topic or hard to discuss topic. So that's me. I'm not saying that this is for everyone, but I'm just that way, in the sense that any intellectual discourse, even on hard and difficult topic to maneuver, I don't mind. I'm not saying I'm good at it. I'm not saying I'm good at maneuvering stuff like this, but I'm not someone that shy away from such discourse. So that's just me. So the comment that I will touch upon today have some element that some people might not be comfortable discussing. So if this is not for you, feel free to go to other videos, inshallah, right? Right, so the comment here says, and I might not read all the words if it's deemed not shouldn't be spoken, I know, verbally at least. Islam teaching marrying underage girls, women have the brain, etc. All Islam. Okay, so these are some of the normal things that some people say. Where my curiosity is this: most people like this, where do they get their information from? I doubt it is primary source. I doubt they directly read the Quran and Hadith and they found certain things. Normally it's something that has been compiled by someone that have a certain agenda, obviously, right? So but I'm curious, where is there a master list of things that this kind of people put and then discuss among them? Okay, this is where how we ridicule Islam, etc., right? So because the point normally is the same, but the depiction of the point always make me wonder, have they ever opened the Quran? Because the way they depict things is like they are depending on a source that is not the primary source. So any mistake there or any weird stuff going there, they assume to be the truth. So that's just my curiosity. I'm not accusing them of anything, but I'm just curious how they get their information from. All right, so there are various messages where I ask, right, where do you get this from, and if you wish to discuss, right? And one of the comment is here. He cited Sahih al Bukhari and this number here, and then as if the hadith support this statement, right? I'm not going to read the whole statement, but it is something that is being done to a young girl aged 6 years old, as if the hadith support that statement. So that is bizarre, because if you are familiar with the hadith or any hadith and any discussion on this topic, this accusation in itself is bizarre. Even those who hate Islam but have a brain do not accuse this exact statement, right? I hope you are following what I'm saying. I'm not saying any of this is true or not. I'm just saying the type of accusation in itself normally doesn't come in this form, if they have a functioning brain, of course. Because let's take a look at the hadith, right? 5134, right? That Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam married her when she was 6 years old, and he consummated his marriage when she was 9 years old, right? And then, right, so that's this waiting period. And or for those who have been, those who are familiar with this discussion, right? So why is that waiting period? To wait for Aisha, basically, to reach the age of maturity physically, right? So that's the age. I know this hadith is being used to accuse Prophet Muhammad SAW of something, but it is centered about this, right? He consummated his marriage when she was 9 years old, and they do not want to accept that this waiting period and at this period of time because she already reached the age of maturity. So they want to deny it, and that's the basis of attack. But at least the attack is based on the hadith, at least because you if you can comprehend what is you read here, it will not come to this kind of sentence, right? So if you conclude that the hadith say it is okay to actually have intercourse with your wife when she was 9 years old, for example, in this case, it's totally nullify what he's saying, right? Because he's saying here the marriage happened at 6, but the consummation marriage happened only at 9 when the maturity have come. So if you're saying this, are you having problem to understand, you know, is there some problem there? So that's one thing, which makes it, you know, normally if I face some people like this, the big question is whether it is wise to give them any time of the day, to give them any of your time, basically, because they simply do not have the brain capacity to comprehend either that, or they are simply just dishonest. Not really dishonest, because those who are saying this, right, those saying that, oh, Prophet Muhammad SAW consummated his marriage when she was 9, but they are not being honest enough to evaluate, to accept the discussion that this wait for Aisha already actually to reach her maturity age, etc. They want to nullify that, they want to deny that, and they want to paint a picture as if she at that age is as if the girl now that you can see at that age, right? So that's the dishonest part. But when you suddenly say that she was 6 when the consummation happened, it's even more severe than that, because you are not just dishonest. You actually have a functioning, there's malfunction at a severe condition of your brain, right? Because you do not even understand what the hadith is saying to begin with. At least for those Islamophobes that you know, use their head, etc., to manipulate stuff, they still can function their brain and say, okay, we can see it's 9 years old, but how to make this into a problem, how to create story or image, etc., to make as if this is a problem, right? So that's normally what Islamophobes do. But in this case, he's not even qualified to be Islamophobe. When you yeah, so that's the thing there. Alright, so that's one thing about the guy, the person, that I'm not sure that, right? That's number one. Number two, in terms of marriage, right? So there are Christians or non-Muslim, or even Muslim actually, that going to back the hadith, right, that cannot understand the context of this, right? The context. And I think to be able to discuss this, because I will not discuss this in this video, because this video is about something else. If you want to zoom in into this one, we have to make a specific video. But my concern is, because I rarely make those kind of video, because it require certain audience that can discuss nuanced discussion, right? Because if you are impatient, or if you cannot comprehend the context, or if you do not want to put things in context, etc., then there's no reason for that discussion to happen in the first place, because you do not want to go through the process, right? So, but for those who are interested in that and really can have a nuanced discussion, right, the background is this. Number one, any element in Islamic teaching does not exist in isolation, right? So if you have one information, for example here, okay, Prophet Muhammad SAW get married when she was 6. Okay, let's put that first. Not yet about the consummation of marriage, but already married, so for example, that, right? We're not talking about any sexual intercourse, etc. We're just talking about marriage in itself, becoming husband and wife, right? So if you just take one fact and take it in silo or in isolation, and normally what we tend to happen is we put it in the background or backdrop of our current reality, and that's the problem. We take something and put in onto a background of our current reality, which is far from the teaching of Islam, generally speaking, right? So then that can come across to seem as if it is a problem, when the problem is not that one. The problem is something else. I hope you understand, right? So when a family is not a functioning unit, for example, right? So for example, the parent is not generally speaking, parents are not taking care of their children, do not have the best interest of the children at heart, etc., etc. For example, that's the scenario. And then suddenly you want to take one Islamic teaching about marriage, about the function of the father as the wali, etc., right? Then it will become, you cannot see the beauty in it, because you take something, put onto a backdrop of jahiliyah, for example, right? Of our current jahiliyah. So it doesn't match. You know. So I can understand why certain people, when they see certain specific things, they see that specific thing as a problem, because they put that specific thing onto the backdrop of actually that's the problem. You know, your whole life is a problem, and then you plug in some Islamic values and put it there. It doesn't match, and it seems weird there. Right, so to discuss everything, so we have to discuss a more broad picture and understand every component. And then once you see, oh, okay, so that's it. So in that circumstances, this will become so beautiful. It works, its function is for the best of the society. But so that's the thing when we're discussing about this kind of things. The video will be long because you have to paint the picture, and then how this fits, and then you can see. But I do wonder, is there anyone who is interested in that kind of discussion? Because it requires a longer span of attention and ability to put everything in context, right? So anyway, so that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. See you next time.